That's amazing. What if you want a lion? Or like... Oh, you can see the sea.
Board games,
Board games.
we might be talking about board games. We're not gonna shout. Here I am on the Isle of Arran, and I'll talk about what did happen last night. We played a couple of games. Yogi and Heartstrings are their names. Here is Jess, who is a new friend.
Hi.
And it'll be a couple of minutes until we end. So, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are, 10 a.m. UK time. Time for Busy Beats and Board Game Blether, episode 940. And what I wanted to chat about today was actually Heartstrings. So I'll tell you about it. So, but it's a game where you throw wool to each other, you say things that you love, and then other people who love the same things, you throw the wool, and then it's like building up an actual web of connections. And I'd never played it with so few people before. So at Terracon, I managed to play it with like 12 people. It works really well. And then I'd played it with like 6 or 8 in the past. And last night we played it with just the 3 of us, myself and 2 other people who you know. And then we kind of talked about this and that, and like talked about our opinions on thongs and stuff. And then it was like afterwards, it's like, okay, things that you're neutral about it, and you start cutting them. And then it's like, okay, now we cut all the strings, and you've lost the physical connections, but the connections remain even beyond the length of the game. And that's what it's meant to be about. It's meant to be a representation of love. But before we get into that, let's talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. So in terms of games played, we played Yogi.
I loved that so much. I wasn't very good.
I mean, you were super kind at it.
I think I was, I think I was helping everybody. Like when everybody was like this, like twisted, I was like, "I'll get your card. I'll place it for you." And then afterwards, you're like, "Right."
It was like one of the most cooperative games of Yogi, like, and we weren't playing the full cooperative variant. It was just, or the team variant or anything. It was just being like, you know what? I'll give you with the wild card something you're basically doing anyway. And then Jorge was like, okay, I'm going to be evil, but not that evil.
Yeah, he was actually really nice. I was surprised. I thought he was going to give me really, really difficult ones, but he was actually being quite kind. Did you think so? Maybe I rubbed off because I was being nice, so he was like, "Oh, better be nice as well and pay it forward."
It was a very interesting game, and then that was Yogi mixed with Yogi Guru, and Yogi Guru's got the wild cards and the lower body stuff.
So I didn't realise, so it's like the original Yogi doesn't have the wild cards.
No, it doesn't.
I like the wild card version then, so if I'm going to buy that version, would it be like the Yogi, is it called?
Well, Yogi is the original, so the Yogi has the above belt stuff, so I think it's best with both of them, man.
Really?
But
so is it 2 games like merged?
Yeah,
basically?
I mixed them both together.
Oh, I didn't realise. Okay.
But then, no, I've got so many memories of the wild cards, and I think because the wild cards allow your personality to come through, and they allow you to kind of express yourself a bit more, that's a really nice thing. But apart from that and Heartstrings, other highlights, restaurants last night was lovely.
We went to what's it called?
Brasserie.
It was so good. I had so many cocktails.
Gosh, I had
what did you have?
2 of the Arran Gold. I mixed.
Oh, did you have 2 Arran Gold? You must have really liked the Arran Gold.
I mean, one for starts, one for ends. I had some scallops, and like it was a fancy meal.
Scallops were so
it was like
good.
A good friend's birthday meal. Yay. And then like we had, it was like just so delicious. The venison was my favourite.
Oh,
that's
really?
Sauce Grande Vernier, I think.
Oh it's called. That was so good.
So we also had a bit of a walk along the beach.
I really liked the walk actually. I'm so glad that we managed to catch Arran. That was the only night that I think we were outside in Arran before it got totally pitch black. Like this, and it was like this sort of actually. Can you see?
Yeah. It's like super beautiful.
Oh, there's the ferry actually. Is that Sally's ferry?
Oh my gosh, I think it is. So you can see like the ferry coming in from the mainland. But yeah, we went to a swimming pool. with
Oh,
like
the
steam
oh
room
yeah,
and
the
sauna,
sauna, and then the
and
foot
like
bath, and the
there
ice
was
bucket.
yeah, the
The
ice
ice
bucket
bucket.
was something
What
I'd never
did you
seen
like
before.
it? Did you do
I
it? Oh,
mean,
you
I
did
wouldn't
it.
say I liked it, but I liked the experience of
Oh,
having done it. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
and I think you and Liz did it together, so it was like a fun activity
And
memory.
then I did it once
Like,
on my own.
oh,
There
did you?
was like,
Well, really? Did you get that quiet? Did you do it
um,
yourself?
yeah, I mean, I didn't. It wasn't being quiet, but like, you know what? I'm going to say that trying things, like trying
Trying?
new things, for
Yeah.
me is a brilliant thing. Brilliant thing. It's a little thing which is brilliant. So for me, it's the trying new things, whether it's the ice bucket or the
Like,
scoring things
oh
like together. And I
yeah.
think that there's massive value in just trying and like
Yeah, for
being
sure.
like, okay, what does this taste like? And really analysing it, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Being mindful, not just trying mindlessly, but being
Yeah.
mindful, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that was a good thing actually about the scoring thing because it made you like really think about what you were
Mm.
tasting and thinking about like how it like looked or like felt and things rather than
Because
just
on the
yeah, that's true
Friday, we had a
actually.
donut tasting,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we had the chocolate and beer tasting last
Yeah,
night.
it was so much. I can't believe how much chocolate that I was made to eat. There was like 20. How many
Um,
did you have? Like 20 different
about
chocolates.
like, I don't know, 18, something like
It's
that.
the most chocolate I've ever had.
I mean, you didn't have
I was,
so
I know,
much of it.
that's true. It was like tiny little crumbs, but even then I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can manage it. But then I did pretty well, I
Mm-mm-mm.
think.
But yeah, so the main topic, as always, if you've got any comments, questions, then and from like follow, and I do always reply to all the respectful comments. And so yeah, with heartstrings, which was the thing that I wanted to chat about, for me the value of the game is in building the connections. And I've been told in the past that the cutting of the thing is a really sad
Oh
moment.
yeah.
But then at the same time, like the fact that people feel that emotional about it is probably like a good thing. It's like, oh, these
Yeah.
things happened, and then like we're sad about losing that, but then the
They're
connections
still
lie.
there.
Yeah,
Is
because
this a
you've
game that you thought of yourself
yeah,
then, or
so
is it
like that,
something?
this is something that it's actually for a festival, so it's not like a
Oh
publishable thing. Do you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Okay.
Like I'll probably at some point, if enough people ask and it's worth me doing, I'll put it up online, like
Oh, to make
so
it.
someone can like run it themselves.
Oh yeah.
But it's really meant to be like a performance thing where one person kind of runs it,
So does
and
one
then they
person
can.
basically sit? So like, would you start and you would say like, I like.
No, so you don't say I like, I love.
I love.
So you have to say I love. So
Like,
and one of the things we said was like I love Liz, and obviously everyone
yeah.
puts up their hand,
and
and then you throw the ball of wool to everyone who has their hands up,
oh, I
and
think
then you
I've
make the
played something.
connections.
I think I've played something.
And then you might say, okay, I love having a color scheme to wear,
Oh,
and then it's like, you know what, even though mine isn't red, you put your hand up,
okay.
and then you might say, I love, hugs, and then
Oh yeah.
people put their hands up or don't, and then you might say, oh, and then if people don't put their hands up, they don't get the connection. But it's about being honest and learning a
What,
little bit
people's
about,
likes and dislikes.
and then after that you say, this is something that I feel neutral about. So then it was like, well, I'm not going to say I feel neutral about doors, because actually when I think about it, I actually really think doors are a brilliant thing. So I can't remember what I said, but at some point I said, oh, I'm feeling neutral or ambivalent about
yeah.
thongs. And
About what thongs?
thongs, yeah.
Oh, like G-strings.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like, I mean, they look sexy, but they're also,
They're so
especially for me,
uncomfortable.
yeah. And so it was like one
Yeah.
person's like, no, I actually quite love thongs.
I
And
bet you. I know who that was.
and
Was it?
yeah, and then so then we had to cut the strings, because like that's the difference, if you know what I mean. So it's like one person being neutral and then one person loving it or hating it, you get the string
the
cut.
strings cut.
And then we had like a couple of strings cut, but then at the end it was like, okay, that's the end of the game. There's still so many connections remaining.
Yeah.
Now you cut literally all the strings just to finish the game, so we can like go away and be separate and go back to reality.
Okay.
But all of these things remain, and yeah.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm gutted to miss. Next time, right? I'll play.
I mean, I think that if
I was
we've
in
got
bed at this
like
point.
some, yeah, this was at like 3:40
I know, but
a.m.
Vicky said, "Oh my gosh, you're snoring." She snored so loud. I woke up at like 7, and I'll let you listen to it later. It was so loud. But then she recorded me snoring and sent it to me, and she was like, "You sound like a lawnmower." But I was struggling to listen to me snoring, whereas when I recorded her, it was just like constant snoring. But when she sent me the voice message at 4 in the morning, I was like, "Can't even hear me." But she was like, "You sound like," I was like, "She sounds like a lawnmower."
I mean,
Yeah.
this is sibling rivalry
Yeah.
over who snores more.
Yeah, or like I think she wins. She wins that answer.
But I mean, for heartstrings, I mean, I am really happy that it seems to have this value, and it was something that I made specially for Now Play This. So I think that, yeah, if you are keen on trying it out, then shoot me a message and we can get it out to you. Anyway,
I
at
love
this
it.
point, then I like to finish up by asking a question of the day. Question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. Question of the day. So my question of the day is: do you drive?
Oh, I do. But
you?
it took me 10 times to pass my driving test. So
So
don't give up in life. Yeah, but I would.
Well
but,
done.
but to be honest, I would have given up if they failed me the 10th time. I was ready to give up at that point.
so would you say you're an unconfident driver?
I would say I'm a confident driver, but I don't like 4-lane roundabouts or parking in tight spaces.
I cannot drive yet.
But you're learning.
No, I'm not actively learning.
Oh.
So it's been a while since my last lesson.
Okay.
But maybe one day. But like honestly, I don't feel like I need to drive.
that's
You know
the
what I mean?
thing.
I live in London, and
that's
I
true.
might like drive
Suspense.
like once or twice a year.
Oh yeah, it's not.
So-
You could hire a car if you really.
Well, I
wanted
mean,
to,
I could
guess.
hire a car, but then I'd need to get someone else to drive it.
Oh yeah. Oh, because you can't drive
Yeah,
legally.
But
Yeah.
yeah. So my question to everyone out there is: have you learned to drive? Do you drive? And over to you. What are you up to? You can share what's if you want to. What are you up to today? Let us know. Is there something you want to do? Something you need to do? Please share. I promise I care. We are going to get on the ferry. I think about 7 o'clock.
Oh yeah. So we've got the whole day with this nice weather.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at
like
this
literally
weather.
sunny. I mean, it doesn't look that sunny.
No, but we have been really lucky.
It's
Like,
not that. It's not
do you
actually
think
that
is
sunny.
it warm? Do you think it's warm? You can.
It's not warm. I mean,
I think.
I've got 3 layers on.
Oh yeah, whereas I've got like my arms.
Yeah.
But it's because I'm used to swimming in the sea. So this is like much warmer than the sea. Swimming in the sea.
But it's going to be a day of saying goodbye to one of our friends, saying goodbye to a bunch of other people, and then yeah, that's it. And so for now, to recap and wrap up before we finish up, we had fun playing games together. We had fun
I had
eating
such a good weekend.
and like reading things.
Yeah.
And what was the highlight yesterday for you? Would you say?
Oh, I don't know everything. Oh, I love the food. The restaurant was. Oh, and the games in the pool. Like we made everybody play.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
You just.
Oh, you
so
did so.
Jess,
You
Jess,
started pouring in my face.
so Jess here
I
said
was-
that we should
yeah.
have races,
We should have
and then we
races.
did a piggyback race. I mean, I thought this was going to be just regular swimming races, but the
It was
piggyback race was such a good idea.
Oh yeah, who won actually?
I think it was you and like
Oh
Jorge.
yeah, Jorge. Yeah, Jorge.
I think that Jorge did pull me under.
Oh, did he? No. Okay, well that gets you back for splashing me in the face. It was like
I wasn't intentionally splashing. I was just kind of trying to go like that.
it's the swimming technique.
It wasn't like intentional splashing, but maybe that's how it's escalated. But to recap and wrap up before we finish up, we had a lovely day,
It was such a good weekend.
and
Really good.
trying new things is brilliant.
Yeah, and meeting new people as well. I was so nervous.
And yeah, I'm proud of Heartstrings and Yogi, and lots of love to everyone. If you want to check me out, I'm Stuff by Bez in all of the places. And tomorrow, Monday, will be a relatively quick stream. Tuesday, I'm going to do a quick Ask Me Anything because a bunch of people on Twitter have asked me questions.
Oh,
So I've got
do you get to choose the
competition. So like I'm going to answer all the questions and then choose a random draw for someone
Okay.
to win a pack of games. So if you are not already following me on Twitter, go there and check it out. And then thank you very much, everyone. Share, spread the word. And the only thing left to say is, of course, bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Blue, 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 bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching long. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. Now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching long. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, bye.